desks covered with papers and books. A wide sofa covered with red morocco evidently served Rogojin for a bed. On the table beside which the prince had been invited to seat himself lay some books. One, containing a marker where the reader had left off, was a volume of Solovieff's history. Some oil paintings in worn gilded frames hung on the walls, but it was impossible to make out what subjects they represented, so blackened were they by smoke and age. One, a life-sized portrait, attracted the prince's attention. It showed a man of about 50, wearing a long riding coat of German cut. He had 2 medals on his breast. His beard was white, short and thin. His face yellow and wrinkled, with a sly, suspicious expression in the eyes. "That is your father, is it not?" asked the prince. "Yes, it is," replied Rogojin with an unpleasant smile, as if he had expected his guest to ask the question, and then to make some disagreeable remark. "Was he one of the Old Believers?" "No, he went to church, but to tell the truth he really preferred the old religion. This was his study and is now mine. Why did you ask if he were an Old Believer?" "Are you going to be married here?" "Yes," replied Rogojin, starting at the unexpected question. "Soon?" "You know yourself it does not depend on me." "Parfen, I am not your enemy, and I do not intend to oppose your intentions in any way. I repeat this to you now, just as I said it to you once before, on a very similar occasion. When you were arranging for your projected marriage in Moscow, I did not interfere with you. You know I did not. That first time she fled to me from you, from the very altar almost, and begged me to save her from you. Afterwards she ran away from me again, and you found her and arranged your marriage with her once more. And now, I hear, she has run away from you and come to Petersburg. Is it true? Lebedeff wrote me to this effect, and that's why I came here. That you had once more arranged matters with Nastasia Philipovna I only learned last night in the train, from a friend of yours, Zalesheff, if you wish to know. I confess I came here with an object. I wished to persuade Nastasia to go abroad for her health. She requires it. Both mind and body need a change badly. I did not intend to take her abroad myself. I was going to arrange for her to go without me. Now, I tell you honestly, Parfen, if it is true that all is made up between you, I will not so much as set eyes upon her, and I will never even come to see you again. You know quite well that I am telling the truth, because I have always been frank with you. I have never concealed my own opinion from you. I have always told you that I consider a marriage between you and her would be ruin to her. You would also be ruined, and perhaps even more hopelessly. If this marriage were to be broken off again, I admit I should be greatly pleased, but at the same time I have not the slightest intention of trying to part you. You may be quite easy in your mind, and you need not suspect me. You know yourself whether I was ever really your rival or not, even when she ran away and came to me. There, you are laughing at me. I know why you laugh. It is perfectly true that we lived apart from one another all the time, in different towns. I told you before that I did not love her with love, but with pity. You said then that you understood me. Did you really understand me or not? What hatred there is in your eyes at this moment! I came to relieve your mind, because you are dear to me also. I love you very much, Parfen. And now I shall go away, and never come back again. Goodbye. The prince rose. "Stay a little," said Parfen, not leaving his chair, and resting his head on his right hand. "I haven't seen you for a long time." The prince sat down again. Both were silent for a few moments. "When you are not with me, I hate you, Lef Nicolaievitch. I have loathed you every day of these 3 months since I last saw you. By heaven I have," said Rogojin. "I could have poisoned you at any minute. Now you have been with me but a quarter of an hour, and all my malice seems to have melted away, and you are as dear to me as ever. Stay here a little longer." "When I am with you, you trust me, but as soon as my back is turned you suspect me," said the prince, smiling, and trying to hide his emotion. "I trust your voice when I hear you speak. I quite understand that you and I cannot be put on a level, of course." "Why did you add that? There, now you are cross again," said the prince, wondering. "We were not asked, you see. We were made different, with different tastes and feelings, without being consulted. You say you love her with pity. I have no pity for her. She hates me, that's the plain truth of the matter. I dream of her every night, and always that she is laughing at me with another man. And so she does laugh at me. She thinks no more of marrying me than if she were changing her shoe. Would you believe it, I haven't seen her for 5 days, and I daren't go near her. She asks me what I come for, as if she were not content with having disgraced me." "Disgraced you? How?" "Just as though you didn't know. Why, she ran away from me and went to you. You admitted it yourself just now." "But surely you do not believe that she—" "That she did not disgrace me at Moscow with that officer, Zemtuznikoff? I know for certain she did, after having fixed our marriage day herself." "Impossible!" cried the prince. "I know it for a fact," replied Rogojin with conviction. "It is not like her, you say? My friend, that's absurd. Perhaps such an act would horrify her if she were with you, but it is quite different where I am concerned. She looks on me as vermin. Her affair with Keller was simply to make a laughing-stock of me. You don't know what a fool she made of me in Moscow, and the money I spent over her. The money, the money!" "And you can marry her now, Parfen. What will come of it all?" said the prince, with dread in his voice. Rogojin gazed back gloomily, and with a terrible expression in his eyes, but said nothing. "I haven't been to see her for 5 days," he repeated after a slight pause. "I'm afraid of being turned out. She says she's still her own mistress, and may turn me off altogether and go abroad. She told me this herself," he said, with a peculiar glance at Muishkin. "I think she often does it merely to frighten me. She is always laughing at me for some reason or other, but at other times she's angry and won't say a word, and that's what I'm afraid of. I took her a shawl one day, the like of which she might never have seen, although she did live in luxury, and she gave it away to her maid, Katya. Sometimes, when I can keep away no longer, I steal past the house on the sly, and once I watched her at the gate till dawn. I thought something was going on, and she saw me from the window. She asked me what I should do if I found she had deceived me. I said, 'You know well enough.'" "What did she know?" cried the prince. "How was I to tell?" replied Rogojin with an angry laugh. "I did my best to catch her tripping in Moscow, but did not succeed. However, I caught hold of her one day and said, 'You are engaged to be married into a respectable family, and do you know what sort of woman you are? That's the sort of woman you are,' I said." "You told her that?" "Yes." "Well, go on." "She said, 'I wouldn't even have you for a